Hello, my name is Ben.
And my name is Josh.
Hey, and welcome back to another FPL Fridays. Right, Josh, we've got a special guest. Shall we get him in here?
We should indeed. It's my friend, it's Devin. He's a Chelsea fan. Believe what you want, but here he is. Welcome to the show. How are you doing, Dev?
I'm right, thanks, boys. How are you?
Yeah, double decent. So yeah, as I said, he's a Chelsea fan. So how did you get into supporting Chelsea? Was it a bit of a glory supporter thing like most of them? Like, let us know.
Oh, firing shots already.
Ouch. Ask me to come on and then just give me slander. No, it's just more like it's a team I used to watch because my dad supports them. So it's more a team I used to watch a lot growing up as a kid. I didn't really support a team, so I was probably about 10, 11 when I got into football. But it was the team I watched the most, and you know, the old Frank Lampard takes you around, doesn't he? Players.
So Lewis G would be loving this right now. That's all I know.
He would. So moving on, obviously Chelsea fan. We're talking about FPL. Are there any Chelsea assets that you think we should be looking at to get into our teams?
I'd probably say for definite Chilwell, because I think I'm pretty sure he's like top 3 Zuma for expected goals as well as assists. He's probably got, I think he's like 3 and 3 for goals and assists for the season. He's not far off that. But Zuma for sure, especially as our defence seems to have short up a little bit. The only goals we seem to concede are like little mistakes or like one-on-one mistakes, not penalty or like the keeper rushing out after he's got injured. But and I'd say look out for Ziyech once he comes back from injury. Would definitely be a big shout. Should be back hopefully in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, definitely some good assets in the Chelsea team. Defensively, I know I've seen someone on Twitter today had a triple up of Zuma, Chilwell, and Reece James, which is mental. I haven't got the cojones for that one, but yes, definitely a team that everyone's looking at. That's for sure. I know I have Giroud, poacher. We love one of those.
I think that
he
will
keeps sticking along.
Change. Yeah, I think that will change hopefully come weekend.
What do you think? Werner will start up top?
Well, we seem very one-dimensional with. It's good for the fullbacks, for Chilwell and James to get points having Giroud up front, but we just seem to just cross the ball a load, and it's just like having two Bukayo Sakas playing on the wing and just constantly crossing the ball. So hopefully we'll probably change the dynamic a bit more direct with Werner up top.
Good stuff.
Right, we'll look into the last game week you had in FPL, the game week 13 review. Now, Devin, how did it go for you? And did it go well? Did it go poorly? How did you do?
It was a week just gone, isn't it? I'm pretty sure we have
we got it on screen anyway. If you want to peep it out.
Yeah, we have our own little lead, don't we, Josh? Me and you and some of the boys from home.
We do indeed.
I don't mean to toot me own horn, but I did pip it by a point for the most points of the week.
I mean, that went hard when I'm in there, to be honest.
No, yeah, Watkins and Grealish really let me down for the weekend, but I got Bruno was a big letdown. So the captain thought, you're playing Sheffield United. They've hardly scored this season. They're struggling to literally play 90 minutes at the minute. So I thought, Bruno and Rashford probably got points between the pair of them, but at least Rashford came through for me. And we got attacked by the Wolves bus, really, in the week. So.
Rashford's interesting. I was just going to say, because not a lot of people own him, and obviously he has almost just as good, if not better, numbers of Bruno this season away from home. So a very decent pick that is.
He's 15 goals and assists from 15 games, isn't he, this season?
Yeah, he's doing really well.
I've noticed on the bench, you've got Tarek Lamptey there.
Don't look at that.
He's doubled up on Leeds up here in defence and goalkeeper, and Lamptey down here with a 6-pointer. What was your thinking behind having the Leeds players in instead of Lamptey?
I didn't actually. I forgot Lamptey was on my bench, and I know Meslier had a very good game week the week before. I'm pretty sure, or the week before that, and I thought, I'll put him between the sticks. He'd be my number one for the week. See if we can. They played Newcastle, didn't they? They won 5-2. Obviously, there was I think there was 5 different scores with Leeds, and none of them was Ayling. And Meslier obviously decided to concede 2, so it's let me down there. But I'm probably going to look at. I've got Diangana, I think, on the bench as well. I'm probably going to change for Gallagher. I think he's got 2 goals at home 2 weeks in a row, and they're playing at home this weekend.
Yeah, Gallagher looks like a good little player. He's probably West Brom's best player, in my opinion. So yeah, so we'll move on. Are we going to the trivia, Ben? Is this the next round?
No, we got. You're keen to get onto the trivia, mate.
I'm just there, mate.
We've got to look at our teams first, and we'll look at. Well, first of all, we'll get the pain of your week.
That's
back
why
up.
I'm. See, this is
You
why
know,
I'm trying to
you're
go.
skipping it. You're too keen about it all, mate. Josh, talk us through your week.
So 39 points. The average was 42. Not ideal. When I saw Kevin De Bruyne only get 4 points, I was happy because I didn't choose to captain him. I advised him. And then Bruno, in a game where United looked very good, he just got the pass to the assist every single time. It was so frustrating. They subbed him off about 70-odd minutes in as well because the game was pretty much over. Yeah, so not ideal in that regard, but we had the likes of Bamford, Giroud and Son. They pretty much saved my game week, to be honest. Like, they were very good. I don't know how Grealish didn't return. He put so many balls on a plate for El Ghazi and Watkins. I just don't get that. Gabriel let me down with a red card. Arsenal player getting sent off. Imagine my shock. And other than that, it was pretty Eric Dyer, to be honest.
Do you have anyone on the bench? Let's have a look. There's no place on the bench anyway, so
yeah, not like last week. So I managed to avoid that, but not great.
It wasn't a good week, and wow, your overall. I'm just seeing your overall rank. That's tough to see. It's tough to see.
All I'm saying, it's only up from here, surely.
Yeah, surely it can only be. Before we look at my team, opinions on Fulham defenders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that Toby, he messaged us on Instagram about this, to be fair. I think I've been looking at them. I made the transfer of Gabriel out and Charlie Taylor in, but Fulham were in my mind as to pick up who to bring in. Callum, is it? I don't know. It's not Callum Robinson.
I don't know if it's Callum, but I know, yeah, Robinson.
Yeah, Robinson. Basically, he's like one of the most influential attacking assets at Fulham. Obviously, they play a lot more defensively solid since about a month ago. They got the win against Leicester, the draw against Liverpool, so they look quite good and quite solid. So I think it's a yes from me, in my opinion.
That Andreas played really well against Liverpool as well. He was very solid.
Yeah, exactly. So I think for budget defenders, I don't see why you can't rotate them in and out. What do you think, Ben?
I think there is no reason why you can't get someone like Aina in. He's playing on the wing for Fulham at the moment, playing very high up the pitch and getting attacking returns as well as defensive ones, which at the start of the season, me and Josh would like, don't go anywhere near these Fulham defenders. But as we said over the past 4, 5, maybe even 6 weeks, they've looked a lot more defensively solid and people have kind of slept on these Fulham defenders. But we'll move on into my team, I think. Bit better than yours, Joshua, this week, I think.
Definitely. Yeah, Anthony Robertson, that's the guy's name. Toby's put in the chat.
There you go. So mine was a 48-point week this week. I'm you know what? I'm relatively happy with that. I was having problems trying to decide what defender I wanted in. At the end of the day, it didn't even matter because Mahrez didn't even play. So I had Dallas luckily come off the bench for me and get a 40, to get a 7-pointer and push me up to 48 points, I believe, this week. And yeah, I can't complain about it in the grand scheme of things, but it's frustrating that I captained Bruno and I had Salah just sitting there with a load of points waiting. But yeah, you know what? We'll take it. Calvert-Lewin ticking along nicely. Son doing what Son does best. And a couple of returns in defence. You know what? It's not that bad. It's kind of maintained my rank. So you know what? We'll move with it. We'll move with it.
Though. You'll take like 45 at minimum, though, won't you, each week?
Yeah.
Sort of a solid push each week.
Yeah. Right. I don't know where Josh has gone, but it's concerning.
He's done a runner.
I am here. My video, it's just the lights in here. I don't know what's happening. It's going on and off, but I'm still here over voice, so don't worry about it.
Josh, what do you think of my game week then? Was I lucky or was?
I think a little bit, especially with that Dallas. Like when Leeds concede twice and you still get a 7-pointer from Dallas, like that's a bit lucky. But other than that, I think you got a lot of good players in there. Mo Salah's someone that I need to get in for sure because Like they're just not really. He's just returning. I think he's returned every single week since he's come back from COVID, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's 5 or 6 in a row now for Mo Salah. And you know what? I'll take the jamminess from Dallas. He wasn't in there to get me clean sheets, in there for attacking returns and all that. So, you know what? I'll definitely take it. Now, we'll go move on and look into game week 14. Now, Devin, what sort of transfers are you looking to make and what's your tactic going into this game week?
I think Chelsea play West Ham at home, I think, on Monday night, which is a nice... We have a bit of a curse of West Ham at the minute as well. We've been sort of linked with Declan Rice. Declan Rice seems to always play a bit of a blinder against us, which is never good. And that Kafal, the right back they've got in from Czech Republic, he's been very solid. So I should hope Chilwell will pin him down and hopefully sit him back and see how good he is defensively for a game would be nice. But I have brought in Mason Holgate after he scored at the weekend, and he played very well against us last weekend. So hopefully he might be able to ramp some points because they're playing Arsenal, who cannot score a goal to save their life at the minute. So
yeah, interesting that the players that you're looking to bring in, it's not the expected players that people are bringing in this game week. Josh, what's your plan moving on into the next game week? Is it trying to scalp a captain return, or have you got a master plan to get these big points back in?
No more master plans, that's for sure. But I've just made the one transfer. It's sort of forced because Gabriel got suspended. So I brought in Charlie Taylor for him, which leaves me $1 million in the bank. So it makes it easier for me to go from Grealish up to Salah, with Vardy making way in that as well. So I'll be taking a hit next week. I've sort of pre-planned my transfers, and especially with the double game week and the blank game week coming up in 18-19, it's going to be interesting to see what people are doing. A lot of people who have their wildcard still are wildcarding on 16 and stuff like that. So a lot of different strategies you could take. I think I'm going to free hit either the blank or the double. I've not decided which one yet, though.
Yeah, that's similar sort of thing to what I'm thinking. I don't think I'm going to make any transfers this week. I'm going to roll it and probably maybe use 2 next week. Who knows? Have to see about that. But yeah, game week 18, I think I'm pretty set and decided that I'm free hitting. And game week 19, I'm pretty happy with my team, even if a lot of the players don't have 2 fixtures in the game week. I think the players that I have in with the single fixtures are potentially better than some of the players I could get in with 2 fixtures. And I think the points, I could potentially get more from players. I think Spurs only have 1 game in that game week. I think there's a couple of other big teams that only have 1 game. So I'm not going to overthink that those 2 game weeks too much. Just looking into hitting the free hit maybe soon.
I was just want to jump in on that. Like this, although the double game week gets hyped a lot and you should play your triple captain and things like that, this double game week isn't that case. Like Man United and Liverpool have each other as one of the fixtures. Like there's no real standout other than like West Ham, who have 2 easy fixtures. So I'd probably hold off at the minute for the triple captain, especially because there's obviously going to be more coming. I know Villa, they have 2 games in hand that they still need to play, so they might be another option. So yeah, so definitely hold on to some of your chips that are more important, like the triple captain.
Yeah. Before we go into the trivia quiz section of FPL Fridays, we got a question on Aubameyang. Thoughts on him, and will his season start soon?
Go on, Devin, you can lead this one.
I think they played him down the middle, didn't they, last weekend? And he finally got his goal. He's now got a goal for and against Arsenal at the Emirates this season, which is it's looking up for him. But I should think, hopefully, Lampard will take the same idea with that and start playing with Werner down the middle too. But I think they need to play him down the middle, especially if they're going to keep whipping balls in with Saka constantly. They want a bit. He's much more the striker than Lacazette is with the ball at his feet from 18 yards. So you'd hope so, instead of sticking him out wide.
Yeah, I think that's the case with Aubameyang. You need to play down the middle if you're going to bring him in FPL, especially if he's a midfielder, because he's going to get that extra point every time he scores compared to last season. And he would have been the highest scorer, I think, in FPL if he was a midfielder last season. So definitely a good player. We've been asked also what our overall ranks are. So I'm about 3 million, but I'm having the shocker of a season. So don't worry there. And then Brownell, where are you now?
I can tell you what it is. It is 870k. So I'm moving up, and Devin, You are 3.7 million. So
yeah, I'm top of our boys' league, so you know that league
that's
is terrible.
that's a shambles of a league. You know, that is a shambles of a league.
Yeah, but
should we move on to the
it's intense. It really
favorite
is.
part of the video?
Oh, go on then.
So, the FPL trivia quiz. Now, we may or may not have stitched Devon up here by not telling him that this was part of the video before,
Yeah.
but
Thanks, boss.
all the viewers know that this is a great section of the video. Josh, do you want to explain to people who may not know the rules what is included in this little quiz?
Of course. So we get 60 seconds on the clock. Devon will have to answer as many questions as he can about Chelsea and FPL related questions. Ben will be shooting the questions. I'm the timekeeper and Devon will be answering. And the highest we've had so far is 7. The lowest we've had so far is 2, but because it's online, it is a little bit more difficult. So we'll, cut you a bit of slack. We're not expecting you to blow the water away, So all right, let's get started, Brown.
Yeah, there's a few nicer questions in there. There's a few nicer questions. There's also a couple of difficult ones. But yeah, Josh, have you got the timer all set and ready?
We're ready to go.
Devon, are you ready?
I'm sweating. All right,
Okay, ready in 3, 2, 1, go. Who has the most FPL points for Chelsea so far this season?
Chilwell.
Incorrect. The most expensive Chelsea asset is?
Timo Werner.
Correct. And how much is Timo Werner?
9.5.
Incorrect, 9.4. Who scored the most FPL points for Chelsea in their last game against Wolves?
Ben Chilwell.
Giroud. How many clean sheets do you have this season in the Premier League?
6.
5. Who is Chelsea's top goal scorer in the Premier League so far this season?
Why should I know this? Oh, I'm going to go with Zuma.
Time's ticking.
Correct. 3 players are top for assists in the league this season for Chelsea. Name one of them.
Ben Chilwell.
Correct. And most errors leading to goals for Chelsea in the Premier League this season.
Zuma.
It's Kepa.
Oh, that was time.
I forget he still lives in the club.
That was a little curveball question there at the end. So let's count up how many he got right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. It's not bad. Josh's camera's gone again. What's he doing?
To be fair, two questions. I was very close. I was one off on both.
Yeah. What was the
Timo Werner? I was off by 0.1 mil.
Yeah.
And clean sheets, I was off by 1 clean sheet.
You were very close. You were very, very close.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that.
4 points is not bad. It's not bad. It sets you in the middle. So there is no shame in finishing on 4 points.
Yeah, I think that was a good score. You did well. We've had worse, that's for sure. So are we going in fixture rundown?
I believe we are.
Right, let's move on to it. So yeah, obviously there's a few awkward fixtures this week, I think, with the fixtures going into it. My favourite this week's got to be Leeds versus Man United. What are yours, Dev? Hit us with your favourite fixtures.
I probably think I'd be up there with you with Leeds Man United. I'd say, obviously, my team, we play West Ham on Monday, and that's always a good game. It always seems to be a bit tight with West Ham because they seem to be a bit of a bogey team for us at the minute. But yeah, definitely Leeds. The football they play, how attacking they are. I wonder if Ollie's going to pack the bus or actually go and attack them this season.
Yeah, it'd be interesting because Man United at home have been such a different breed compared to how they play away, and obviously Bruno has blanked twice in a row this season, but is he going to do it against Sheffield United and Leeds? That would be terrible, especially as an owner myself. I just hope he can get a return at least, and he is my captain. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit, but he is my captain.
Josh has been really keen this week, hasn't he? He's been really keen this week, skipping all ahead of the times. But yeah, the Premier League fixtures, I don't think there's really an easy fixture for any of the top 6 this week. I think they're all pretty difficult fixtures. Liverpool away at Palace, it's a difficult place to go and get a result, as Spurs showed the other week. Who else we got in there? The Spurs, obviously, against Leicester. That's
Liverpool,
going to be a
Crystal
tough
Palace,
one.
the early kickoff. Liverpool have only won one away game this season, and that was against Chelsea. So, that's a bit of a sticky one for those Mo Salah owners. That's all I'm saying.
Eze might be a good shout, to be fair. He's been very hot form. Not really for points, but as a playing, he's been very hot for the last 2 games. So I'm hoping this week he'll probably return. He might actually return some points this week.
He's on set pieces as well for Palace,
Yeah.
so you can see some potential returns from that. Should we get Charlie's comment up, Ben, if you can?
Yeah.
Charlie said, go on, you go for it.
Kane, number 1 captain choice this week. What do you make of that, Devin?
He's on hot form, especially with assists and goals, and Leicester don't look the greatest defensively, especially who did they lose to the other week? They lost, didn't they, to them?
Fulham.
Yeah, it was Fulham, especially, and they've struggled for goals this season as well, which is a bit of a surprise. So, especially with how they play quite high press, don't they? They either play conservative or play high press, and Mourinho will probably just eat up and just spit them straight out with Kane and Son up front the minute they're tearing apart. I've got him and Son, so hopefully they can both return for me.
Yeah, I know Ben has both of them too. I think he's definitely a good choice. This week you can pretty much pick anyone. I feel like there's no real bad choice. It's all a bit mediocre. So yeah, good shout. He's got Kane, Salah and KDB. I think KDB away to Southampton's a good shout. Like I think that's going to be a high goal scoring game, like a 3-2 or something like that. So maybe he can get in on that, but obviously Man City is slacking right now, so who knows? But yeah, do you want to move on to the next part of the show, Ben?
Yeah, so we can either move on to must-have assets for this week or captain picks. And I'm going to let you... Which one?
Captain picks.
You want the captain picks?
I do, because I need to get a captain choice right. It's been going so wrong this year. We've seen it. I tweeted it out a couple of days ago. I think I've only scored 170 points through captains this season so far, and it's just so bad. Like I'm having a nightmare. Bruno blanked. Basically, if whoever I'm captaining, just don't captain them, boys, because they're not going to return.
Not a great week in terms of captains and. Yeah, well, it's very crucial in FPL, and if you get it right, it guarantees you higher points and increasing on overall rank.
Definitely.
So Devin, if you had to pick one player, it can be anyone at all in the league to captain this week, who would it be and why are you picking them as your captain?
I'm going to take, it's going to be a bit of a rogue, bit left-wing shout here, but I'm going to say, from out far field, I'm going to say Patrick Bamford for this weekend. Especially with United's home form and how shaky Lindelof Maguire can be and prone to mistakes with the high press that Bielsa plays and how good on form he's been, I reckon there could be a few goals there.
Yeah, I actually agree with him. I have Bamford in my team, and I like watching Sheffield United play against us yesterday. They were playing a higher press, like on Dean Henderson. That's how they got their first goal. So and Leeds' press is different gravy compared to Sheffield United. So I think you could definitely see a lot of goals in that game. I think United could actually lose it, to be honest. Like it's one of those ones. Leeds play much better against the better teams, as we've seen. So yeah, Ben, who are you captain this week?
I can't really look further than Salah. The safe choice for me after a painful captain choice last week in Bruno Fernandes. I think I'm going to have to go back to what I know, go back to Mo Salah, and hopefully he does the business for me. Just get a goal, lad, and a penalty, whatever it may be, and I'll be happy with that because he doesn't seem to let you down every week. He almost seems fixture-proof in terms of his form and the points that he produces. So, yeah, that's going to be the one I have to go for.
Yeah, definitely a good shout. Like I said, though, they're struggling to win. It doesn't mean Mo Salah's not going to score, though. So you have to bear that in mind. For me, it's going to be Bruno Fernandes. I don't think he'll blank twice in a row. I think he'll get some form of return. I don't think it'll be a lot, but I need anything at this stage for me. So Bruno Fernandes for me. Other good options, the Spurs boys, I think. Kane especially. He loves goals against Leicester. On the other hand, Vardy as well against Spurs. Like he's also he's done quite well. He blanked obviously against Everton, but the weeks previous to that against Brighton, he got a big haul in. So that's quite interesting. Grealish is a bit of a differential one because he's obviously got West Brom. They've been a bit shaky defensively. So there's a lot of options. Yeah, so there's a lot of
options.
options. It's just whoever you want to pick, really. It's a free run this week, in my opinion, on the captaincy.
Yeah, very much so, very much so. So we'll move on to differential pick of the week. Now, this is where we pick someone under 10% owned or thereabouts, and we predict them to have a good week. And usually, me and Josh together, combined, we always get one out of the two that returns at some point. So, Devon, have you got a differential that you're keeping your eye on and that you'd recommend?
I would recommend at this moment in time, with how Everton's form's been, I would take Gylfi Sigurdsson, as he seems to be a bit of a man reborn at the minute, and especially being penalty taker for Everton at the minute. I know Richarlison had a bit of a hoo-ha with him the other week, but I think he's created like 9 chances last 2 game weeks, so he's very hot on form and involved in and around the goals. And especially with Calvert-Lewin still ticking very steadily, hopefully. Just a bit of a combination there with the two of them.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick, especially if you're trying to get those DCL points, but not through DCL as he's so high owned. I think that's a really interesting one. Definitely, you can definitely see him returning as well because of his set pieces and how everyone's basically out injured in the Everton team. For me this week, my differential. Oh yeah, he's actually guaranteed goals then. Sorted.
Exactly.
Yeah, for me this week, I'm going to go Marcus Rashford. He obviously scored twice against Sheffield United. He's somehow under 10% as well, which is kind of crazy. He's a class player. He's producing the same sort of numbers as Bruno away from home. Obviously, they play Leeds at home this week, but I think if anyone's really scoring in that United team right now, it's definitely Marcus Rashford. He's in great form. The thing is, though, Cavani might be back, so we've seen him get an assist for Cavani. So it opens up the options for Rashford, really. If there's more better players around him, you think he'd return more. Ben, who are you going for?
So my differential of the week this week is going to be, I've just forgotten who it is. Good start.
You didn't even say
I remember it now. It is going to be Richarlison of Everton. He is at 4.4% owned, 7.8 million on FPL, coming off the back of an 8-point week. I mean, at home to Arsenal, the obvious choice is Dominic Calvert-Lewin. But if you want that differential pick for maybe the next 2 game weeks before going into potentially like a game week 16 wild card or something like that, Calvert-Lewin's a great pick. So they've got Arsenal at home and then Sheffield United away. 2 very winnable fixtures for Everton and 2 fixtures where I can see Richarlison really causing problems for the opposition defence. So I'm going to go Richarlison. I mean, he should get at least 1 return in the next 2 game weeks. So I think it's a pretty safe choice, even for a differential pick.
Yeah, definitely.
They struggle to win without Richarlison as well. Their win percentage is very low without Richarlison in the squad, and since he's been back, they seem a completely different team. So, especially with Dominic Calvert-Lewin, will probably take all the focus of both centre halves. So hopefully the players around him, such as Sigurdsson and Richarlison, have to feed off and lose bits.
Yeah, obviously Arsenal are without Gabriel as well, like their best centre half. So that's another bonus if you're bringing in an Everton asset this week. I'm scared not owning DCL. One of the worst things that I did was probably take him out this season because he just ticked along pretty nicely almost every week. So yeah, some good picks. Pick who you want. Let us know in the comments if you're still watching who you'd pick as a differential this week, because it's just interesting. We like to hear it, don't we, Ben?
Yeah, you really do. So moving on, Josh. The mini league manager of the week and an update on our FPL league.
Yeah, I can just get it up for you. Give me 2 seconds. It's been very competitive, hasn't it?
It has. We'll get up the league.
I've got him now. Yunus Ahmed is currently. Oh no, it's not. He's gone to second. It's just updated for me. Tommy McDermott is still top. Mike Dean's beard. There he is. Everyone can see it now. 56 points.
Oh, he's cut.
As he cut out, he's frozen. I don't know whether that was me or not that froze, but he has cut out and frozen. Well, we'll have a look at who's top at the moment. Who is Tommy McDermott. And we'll have a look at what his team did this week. 56 points. Emi Martinez in goal. Robertson, James, Ogbonna, Walker-Peters. So he's got 2 returns out as defenders and goalkeeper. Salah, captain. That is huge. 14 points. Nice. He got a captain that returned this week. Very, very rare. He had Mars as his vice captain, so he obviously had someone come off the bench there for him. Son, Calvert-Lewin, and Bamford getting him some points as well as Kane. What do you make of that team, Devon?
It's very solid, especially the three forwards have all sort of ticked on, haven't they? They've all got at least a goal, or they've got an assist and done something. And then obviously Salah as captain, it's just guaranteed points, isn't it? Points each week.
Sorry about that. Don't know what happened. Internet's just, it went, see you later, Josh, mate. I'm not having it.
Yeah, so we're currently looking at the top of the FPL Graduates League. What do you make of that team? He captained Salah and had a couple of returns in there.
Yeah, I was literally saying it before. Well, and then I noticed the Wi-Fi cut out. Like Salah captain, big call, and it's a very good captain return this week. Like no one, like there was over 2 million players who captained either Kevin De Bruyne and or Bruno Fernandes. So that alone is a big like pool of the community. So having Mo Salah, I think Mo Salah was like 5th maybe or 3rd or 4th. He's not in the top 2 anyway. So it's a differential captain when it's Mo Salah in that sort of set. Son returning, big return as well. I know I have him. Bamford, he's ticking along almost every week now. Robertson looks like a good option in that Liverpool defence, although they've been a bit shaky. And then Emi Martinez scoring 20 points or nearly in the last 2 weeks shows why people shouldn't have taken him out when Aston Villa had that blank game week.
Arsenal, the one that got away, really, isn't Emi Martinez?
Definitely. I reckon they'd be doing a lot better than what they are now if he was still in goal.
I just feel a bit of slander, but it happens.
Yeah, so as it stands at the moment, he has opened up a little bit of a gap, from second. It's around 12 points now. It's still not many, but yeah, I'm trying to climb up. I really am trying to climb up. I think I'm top 100 in the FPL Graduates League now. I think I'm around 80th, somewhere like that. So you know what? I'm carrying the torch now for the graduates. You are.
It is a marathon, not a sprint, but we have done a good part of the marathon already. So
yeah, Josh has pulled up with a hamstring injury. So yeah, we've got to do something about it.
We do. Isn't it, man? Ben's coming on. Give me a hand. But yeah,
I know we're taking them out. It's subbed out for the rest of the season.
It'll be interesting because it obviously almost gives me like a free win. Like I can almost do what I want now in terms of, because I'm not really going to break into anything crazy like top 50k or anything like that. It would take something miraculous to do that. So you'll see a lot of random and maybe different picks from me in the upcoming weeks and see if they pay off, which will be interesting. Get over Christmas first and see what happens afterwards, because if I can gain a few ranks, I know I said I wanted about 140 points in these next 2 game weeks, including the last one. So unless I have like 100-point week this upcoming week, that ain't going to happen. But it'll be interesting to see. But 3 million rank, it's almost too much to climb back now. I think I'm 100 points off the top 1 million. It's a lot of points to claw back.
My claim to fame was, when was it Sergio Aguero scored 5 goals against Newcastle, didn't he? I think it's like 3 or 4 seasons ago now. I'm triple captain for that week. I forgot all about it. I think single-handedly, I think it got me 120 points.
Jeez, see, it can happen. I just need Aguero to come back.
Yeah, play Newcastle, please.
Awesome. Anyway,
injury season December.
That pretty much does wrap up another episode of FPL Fridays live.
Indeed, the first live one as well.
The first FPL Fridays live. Yeah, you're very much correct. Devon, thank you for coming on, and we hope you enjoyed yourself on. No worries at all. and yeah, if you'd like the video, give it a like. This will probably go up as a video on YouTube anyway. Comment, share, all of that good stuff. Follow us on TikTok, Twitter, everything like that. I've been Ben.
I've been Josh. And he's been Devon.
And I am there.
And we'll see you
later.